Hi, welcome to Baking with Jay plus Dan.
I'm Jay,
I'm Dan.
and today we're going to be thinking outside of the cake box.
We're doing a decorator cake, ombre cake, which means the icing and the cake layers will go from light to dark, and we're going to put a little surprise inside.
Yeah, so this is a really simple recipe. Just start with your favorite cake box mix.
Did you say cake box?
I know.
Okay, we're going to just bring that down to a whisper.
And then we just substitute some of the ingredients. In this case, instead of using water, we use 1 cup of whole milk. And instead of using oil, we use 1/2 cup of melted butter. And we added 1 extra egg yolk and some vanilla extract just to pop that flavor. So after you make your cake mix, just make sure that you divide it into 3 even bowls. And we are going to start to color them. In this case, I'm using neon bright purple. And you want to start the ombre effect starting with your darkest color. So I'm going to put maybe like 4 or 5 drops in this bowl. And start to mix that. So I'm going to take the same color and then just add a little bit less, maybe 3 or 4 drops to the second bowl. So this is going to be our middle layer.
Now, how many drops would you use for the lighter, the top level?
Probably start with 1.
Okay. Because you can always then adjust and go darker, but you can't go lighter.
Yeah. So we have our 3 ombre colors, starting with the darkest, a medium purple, and a kind of mauve, dusty pink color.
Dusty rose. Okay, so it's time to go into the pan. We have our 3 6-inch pans at 6 inches with 2-inch depth. And we've got a little cozy on the outside. You soak the cozy in water first, and that'll help the cake bake up more evenly. So when we get to the leveling stage, which we'll show you, you have a little less cake to level. And we've put parchment paper with butter and flour.
Yeah, so we're going to start filling our pans. Just give it a little shake to make sure that batter settles.
And our third one here.
So here's our third batter. Just shake it again. And then this just goes into an oven preheated at 350 degrees. Bakes for about 30 minutes. You just want to rotate and switch them halfway through. You just follow the directions on your box cake.
And we'll be back for the fun part. When the cakes come out of the oven, let them cool for about 10 minutes in the pan. Then turn them onto a cooling rack until they're cooled completely. Then we popped them into the fridge so they're nice and chilled. You want to have solid layers to work with. And now here's our moment to level them off. You see this little dome on top? It's nice and cold. I've got a cake leveler, this little toy. Just kind of fun to saw off the top. You go right through the top of the cake. If you don't have one of these, we've done it with a serrated knife. I've tried it with dental floss, preferably clean dental floss, and you tie it around the edge and then you zip it right through. That, on some cakes, I think it actually works. It's like taking out a little baby tooth and you tie it to the door jamb and slam the door. You go. So here's our little cake top. We're just going to remove that because, as I said, you want these even layers going up. Okay, into the middle, take a little 2-inch cookie cutter or ramekin here. I'm going to make the impression to cut out the tunnel for the middle.
Yeah, so it's very important that you make sure that the tunnel is large enough to hide the surprise once you cut into the cake. And also make sure that they're all perfectly centered on top of each other.
So here we go. We'll pop out that middle section. That's a little chef's treat for later. And here, I've already pre-done the other 2 layers. I'm going to brush a little simple syrup around the cut edge of the cake.
So the simple syrup is made simply with water and sugar, equal parts, until it's boiled down and the sugar is fully dissolved. And you can add any flavoring you like. You can add just plain vanilla extract or...
Oh, and this one, ooh, it's the violet liqueur.
Yes.
Like a violet candy liqueur. You don't need very much of that because it can make it super sweet. But here we are. Darkest layer goes on the bottom. Center is cut out.
Now it's my turn. So you take the bottom of the cake and you pipe your buttercream ring just lightly on the bottom. What this does is make sure that it adheres to the bottom of your cake round, which is right here. So just take that and center it, plop it down, and give it a little push. Make sure it doesn't move. That's pretty good. And then you take another layer of your buttercream, going on a little bit thicker so that you can fill the layer of cake rings in between. Now this buttercream is from the can. A little tip that we like to do is take that out of the can and whip it for about 3 to 5 minutes until it's nice and fluffy. It'll change the consistency and make it so much more spreadable. So now we're going to spread that first layer of buttercream.
Oh, that looks so nice. You can add a little salt to the canned frosting also to take away some of that sweetness.
Yeah. So you see, you just want it to have a little bit of hang over the edge of the ring on the outside.
So our next layer is ready to go on. This is the medium color. We're going to turn it. I've brushed the simple syrup, and we're going to turn this one cut side down. And I'll let Jason kind of level that, kind of eyeball it to see that we've got our circle or our tunnel nice and even.
Yeah, and just give it a little gentle push, make sure it's centered. And again, another ring of buttercream. And take your offset spatula, or you can even just use a butter knife just to spread on the edges.
And it's time for the last layer. This is the lightest colored ring. We'll put that one cut side down. Can you see that?
Yep. Give it a little push.
And remember to reserve the ring of the lightest color, the centerpiece we cut out. We're going to save this as a cap for later. So you can eat the other ones, but save this precious cap.
So now we're going to finish it off with the dollop of buttercream. This time you want to put a little bit more than the others because this is going to serve as a crumb coat to sealing those crumbs. So put on more than you think that you need. And take your offset spatula and just start to bring it to the edge. At this point, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want a thin coating to seal in those crumbs. So you see, once it's at the edge, then you just start to work it to the side of the cake. And you just start covering the side of the cake. You may just need to pipe some more buttercream just to fill up those gaps. And just take your spatula, butter knife, and start to smooth out the side. All right, once you got that nice and evenly distributed, roughly, I like to take a bench scraper. So it's just a long, clean edge, and hold it at a 45-degree angle to the cake and the cake board, and just gently start to drag it and move the turntable at the same time. So that's getting there. It looks like it's a nice coating. So you're going to continue to do that until you get a nice, clean, even layer. I'm just finishing the last pass of the crumb coat. So you can still see the edges of the cake. That's totally fine because we're going to come back and cover it again with the final coating. So you take this cake and put it in the refrigerator for at least a half hour so that the frosting firms up. After the crumb coat has completely set, it's time to fill it with the goodies.
Ooh, we have some chocolate candies, little chocolate rounds. Just kind of bang those in there. It's like filling a piñata.
Yeah. So I'm going to put these large gumballs. I'm going to put 3 in the bottom.
We have some large size sprinkles. Pretty much anything works. Do you want to think of things that will spill out? And do that again?
Yes.
And a little more on the chocolate candies.
Whoop, one of those got away. And then about 3 more gumballs.
Oh, a couple sprinkles. Now we're pushing our limit here. This is where we're going to use that cap. This is the lightest colored cake. We cut the cap in half and just made a little plug to return there. You have to press it down a little bit. There it goes.
Yeah. So then you take your buttercream, again, the white, and just kind of pipe a little circle around that plug. And take your offset spatula or a butter knife or a spoon and just kind of smooth that over the top. And now it's time to start the finish coating on our cake. I'm going to start with the white. Just put a thick, generous layer while moving your cake turntable. Always put more than you think you would need. Just fill it up. And then with your offset spatula, again, just wipe it off and start to smooth it out to the edge of the cake. Just to make sure that it overhangs a tiny bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now what we want to do is start with our ombre pattern. So we're going to take our darkest color of a buttercream. This is a really deep, dark purple. And just cut off the end of the bag. You don't even need a tip. And go at the very base and move the cake. I like to do about 2 rows. And it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because what we're going to do is blend these colors together. So now we're going to take our next color, which is like a lavender color. Again, just in a simple piping bag with the tip of the end cut off. We're going to go right above that dark color and just move it as you press firmly. You want to get as much frosting on there as you can. And you can kind of go over the gaps that you missed. And then our final color will be the white. So you just, again, just squeeze and fill in the gap that's closest to the top with the white color. And now it's time to start the ombre pattern. Just take a bench scraper or any long tool and hold it at 45-degree angle up against the cake and just rotate it. Give it a few turns. And then what you want to do is see that excess frosting. Just wipe it off. I like to dip it in a little bit of warm water. Just have a bowl nearby and wipe it off again. And just continue to do that until you see a nice, smooth, even line. Don't be afraid to push into that frosting. You're going to take off most of it.
The other little secret tip, you've taped the cake board down to the turntable.
Yes.
So we put a little bit of tape under there to make sure as he presses in, it doesn't slide.
Move. Yeah. All right, so look at that beautiful ombre pattern. I'll lift it up so you can see. You see how the colors are blending into each other from dark to medium to the white. And now all we need to do is just level off the top of the cake. So I like to go from the center and just move in, wipe it off, center, move in, just continue to wipe it off until you get a nice sharp edge. It's gonna take a couple of passes, so just be patient with it. All right, so I'm just finishing off the top layer.
That looks amazing. It's ready to go back into the refrigerator. We'll chill it off until it's nice and firm. And stay tuned, there's more. So the ombre cake is nice and chilled now. Wait until it's completely firm so that we can add a little chocolate glaze and a drip effect.
Yes, so here is another cake hack. It's called chocolate drip cake. It literally is a drip in a bottle. In this case, we're using purple/mauve. And all you need to do is pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds on high, no more, no less. And then put the cap back on and shake it for a minute. And you'll have an instant drip cake. And now it's time to cover the cake. What I like to do is just form a little bit of a circle so that you don't get too much of a run over. Go as close to the edge as you can, and then just start filling in the middle. All right, now after you got a nice layer, take your offset spatula and just gently move that, trying to get it close to the edge without going over. Wow, look at that. It's perfect. Now we're going to start the drip. So you just gently want to squeeze the bottle on the edge as you turn the cake. The more you squeeze, the longer your drip is going to be. So I like to start with like a medium squeeze and then a longer squeeze, and just continue to do that around your cake.
Oh, you see how satisfying the drip effect is coming down the edge of the cake. Just have fun with it. So look at this. As soon as you're happy with the effect, you want to get it right back into the refrigerator or the freezer, and we'll be back to do the top and taste it.
Yes.
Can we finish this and have a taste of it now?
Yes, almost. One more step. Now we're going to top the cake with some buttercream frosting. So what I did is I combined the leftover buttercream frosting, the white, and the lavender color into one piping bag, no tip, just to cut off the end of it. And we're going to finish off the top of our cake. So you just want to do a dollop at the 12 o'clock mark, a little swirl, then at 6, and then just alternate in between.
It gives it a nice swirled effect when you have the two buttercream colors in one bag. It's cool. And just in case there's not enough candy inside, we'll take some of our leftover gumballs. This has a little candy inside the candy. It's all getting very complicated. So we'll do our alternating, look how cute. Purple and yellow. You guys have fun with this. Do whatever you want. Aww.
Look at that. that?
It looks like a prop cake that you see on TV.
It does.
So the risking everything now. Let's cut in. We'll see if we get the surprise effect. As you cut down, be nice. I know, be nice and firm with the cut. There we go.
Here's a surprise.
Let's see.
Oh, look at that.
And there we are, the layers. A little bit of candy stuck there.
Yeah, you can see the inside of that. All right, now let's taste it.
Okay. Can we share one piece today?
Yes.
That's cute.
All right, I'm going to go for the dark lavender. It's delicious. You'd never know it came from a box. It's fun,
No way.
festive.
Yeah, so doing the shortcut with the box mix lets you free up time for the decoration and playing around with how you want to decorate it.
You can use whatever color combination you want. You know, it could be perfect for any holiday. So thank you for watching this episode of Baking with J plus Dan. Please remember to subscribe, share, like, and
Don't forget, ring that bell.